Wow. 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 What do I even say, man? What do I even say? Hold on, let me get the volume down on this. My bad, guys. This is the first time we're live streaming on Instagram. Hopefully you guys can hear me on Instagram. I don't even know. Dude, I'm so sick to my stomach right now. How do I mute this? All right. Hopefully it's better now. But bro, I am absolutely sick to my stomach right now. I'm sick to my stomach, man. The Philadelphia Eagles lose on Monday Night Football. They go down to the Seattle Seahawks in embarrassing fashion. And I mean, the season's all but over. Season's all but over after that embarrassing loss, okay? The Philadelphia Eagles just lost to Drew Lock. They just gave them a 92-yard drive in a minute 24. You let the Seattle Seahawks, you let Drew Lock take it down the field and loft one up to the end zone and reel it in. I am absolutely sick to my stomach. I'm looking at every damn person on this team. I'm looking at Jalen Hurts. I'm looking at Nick Sirianni. I'm looking at Brian Johnson. He should be the next coordinator fired, okay? I think the Eagles got rid of the damn wrong coordinator. All right, Sean Desai's looking all pretty up in the press box. All right, good for him. Brian Johnson is awful, okay? He's not even bad. He's awful. If I had to go down a list and pick every coordinator in this league, Brian Johnson would be probably about number 29. The Eagles have lost 4 games this year. They've lost 3 in a row. They get curb stomped by the Niners. They get curb stomped by the nauseating Dallas Cowboys. And they just went out there and lost to a backup quarterback. And I know it was in a tough place to play. Okay, I get it. Tough conditions. Blah, blah, blah. Jalen Hurts had the flu. I don't give a crap. How do you lose that game? How do you lose that game? That was the worst thing I've ever seen. That was one of those losses that stick with you for about 5 years. That is one of those losses that stick with you for about 5 years. I mean, I am absolutely sick. I might go vomit after this. I might go vomit. I don't even know where to start. I don't even know where to start, man. Let's start with the last drive. The Philadelphia Eagles. And I will read all your comments. We got it working on Instagram now. We got a ton of people on Instagram. It's kind of hard for me to see all the comments. So if you are on Instagram, feel free to come on over to the YouTube channel. Feel free to come on over to the Facebook channel. We're live everywhere. Sound off in the comments, ladies and gentlemen. Sound off in the comments. Let me know how you feel, because I am absolutely sick to my stomach right now as the Philadelphia Eagles lose again, this time to the Seattle Seahawks, and they fall to 10-4. But let's go to the final drive, okay? The Philadelphia Eagles are up, and they're up 17-13. And they have the ball with 6.5 minutes to go. You would think, okay, DeAndre Swift is going. They can run out the damn clock. They go incompletion. They go with a run play. 3rd and 7 at the 50. Jalen Hurts is running around forever like a chicken without a head. He ends up throwing it away. So the Seahawks get the ball back with 2 minutes to go. They're down 4. There is no way Drew Lock, starting on his own 8-yard line, should be able to go the distance. And you let these guys catch in front. You let DK Metcalf go on a couple screens. You let Jackson Smith and Jigba go on a couple plays. Tyler Lockett. You're letting Drew Lock sit comfortable. Why did we replace the defensive coordinator? To send some damn pressure. Matt Patricia stinks too. Brandon Graham got a sack in this game, and Jalen Carter got a sack after the whole challenge play where they ended up saying his knee was down, whatever. You didn't send any damn pressure at a backup quarterback. I get it. Darius Slay's down. Zach Cunningham is down. But why did you bring in a new sense of life? Why did you replace Sean Desai with Matt Patricia if he was going to sit back and let a backup quarterback, who, by the way, is ass, throw all over you with 2 minutes to go in a game? That is unacceptable. Who's next in the defensive coordinator line? Who's next? Guess what, Eagles? Can't go back to Sean Desai. Can't go back to Sean Desai now. Who's next? Who's next? 20 points to this Seattle team? DK Metcalf had 1 catch for most of the game. You give me those numbers, and I say the Eagles win this game by 15 or more. Oh my gosh. You want to talk about a loss that will pit your stomach, that will literally almost end the season. There's no way you lose that game. There's no way. Drew Lock throws a 29-yard touchdown. By the way, on third down, the down there where the Eagles are giving up more than 60% the last couple weeks, he just floats a nice one up. James Bradbury got cooked. He got sauteed this week. James Bradbury, why the hell are the Eagles paying you all this money if you can't step up, especially with Darius Slay out? Some of the best plays tonight were made by Eli Ricks, Josh Jobe, James Bradbury. Where the hell were you? Unbelievable. He lofts one up to Jackson Smith-Njigba, the rookie, and he pulls it down. And the Eagles get the ball back, and oh, guess what? And you know what? I'm going to say it, and I don't care what anybody has to say, okay? Jalen Hurts looked like crap today. Nobody gets a pass. I don't care if you were dealing with the flu. If you couldn't play, you should have stayed home. You had enough in the tank to win this football game. He throws an awful interception. Awful interception with 8:08 to go. So he throws 2 fourth-quarter interceptions, if I'm not mistaken. It was a 1st and 10 on the 45. This is the first one. He throws it to Quez Watkins, Mr. Butterfingers himself, into the end zone, intercepted. You're moving the ball down the field. Why do you feel the urge to throw a skyscraper into the end zone to Quez Watkins? That's number one. And then, with the game on the line, you're moving the ball again. So you have evidence to show that maybe just throwing a little 5-10 yard slant route could get these guys in position. And with 28 seconds to go, Jalen Hurts makes a great play. He scrambles. And once again, deja vu at its finest, ladies and gentlemen. It's 1st and 10. Guess where? From the 45. The same exact location. And he tries to throw it 30 yards. Once again, lofts it up in the air, and it is intercepted. Amazing play by the defender. Jalen Hurts was awful in this game. Jalen Hurts was awful in this game. That doesn't excuse the fact that Brian Johnson might be the worst coordinator I've ever seen. That doesn't excuse the fact that Matt Patricia, in his first game, you replace your coordinator, and in the first game, you cannot stop Drew Lock from going 92 yards with the game on the line. I can't get past that. I can't get past that. Coordinators are terrible. Fire everyone. How much of this falls on Nick Sirianni? How much of this falls on Nick Sirianni, right? Did he have the guys ready to play? Are the Eagles even talented? There's so much I want to talk about in this game, but I don't know how to get past the last 5 minutes of this game. I don't know how to get past the last 5 minutes of the game. That is what is throwing me off. I am frustrated. I am so frustrated. By the way, guys, I know on the Instagram side of things, like, you can't see me. Here, let me see if I can put myself in the camera for you guys. Can you guys see me now? Can you guys see me now? Because I got to tell you, man, I am embarrassed right now to be an Eagles fan. We'll get this stream fixed up. We'll get it going, and we'll be live streaming here on Instagram. But the fact of the matter is, the Philadelphia Eagles just embarrassed themselves. They just potentially lost the division, let alone the number one seed. You could kiss the number one seed goodbye. You could kiss the number one seed goodbye. They might have just lost the division. They might have just lost any hope. How do you recover from this game? How do you recover from this game? What do you do? What do you do? Do you try to rally the troops up? Do you try to rally the troops up and say, oh, we're going to go beat Tommy DeVito, and then we'll be good? What do you do now? I mean, this is the worst time to play like this, to lose games like this. There's just so much questionable in this game. I can't even get past the fourth quarter. I'm just embarrassed. I'm embarrassed. Absolutely embarrassed. By the way, if you guys are on the Instagram and you can't see me and you want to, come on over to the YouTube page, A to Z Philly. I'm freaking frustrated, man. Seahawks come out at halftime. They go on an easy rushing touchdown. It takes about 5 minutes. They go right down the field. No adjustments whatsoever. Then the Eagles come back with a touchdown of their own, 12-play, 75-yard drive. Jalen Hurts punches it in. By the way, he now has 14 rushing touchdowns, whip-de-doo. Tied the record for most in a single season. Then a couple 3-and-outs. The Seahawks get it back. And then this is what really got me, okay? And by no means did the officials win this game for the Seahawks, okay? But they were awful again, and I will continue to say it until I'm blue in the face. The false start early in the game, Eagles would have had an easy 1st and goal inside the 10. They get pushed back 3rd and 6. Brian Johnson doesn't know what he's doing. He runs the ball right up the gut. 4th down, settle for 3. Should have been a touchdown. Then, in the second half, it's a 4th and 2. Seattle goes for it. They send Metcalf on the slant, and James Bradbury barely touches him. Whoop, there we go. Throw the flag. Throw the flag. Throw the flag. It's Philly. Throw the flag. Pass interference. James Bradbury. Seahawks end up going down the field. They get 3 out of it. And that's when everything crumpled. As soon as that last flag occurred, that was awful. Everything crumpled. And Jalen Hurts absolutely lost his mind. I don't know if he's sick. I don't know what happened. I don't know what he has. But apparently he was messing with his head because he thought it was a good idea on 1st and 10 from his own 45 to launch one to Quez Watkins in the end zone. And you know what? Although that was a bad throw, Quez Watkins should never play it down again for the Philadelphia Eagles. He should never play it down for the Eagles. You know why? Because he didn't even try on the route. He was held. He was actually held. They didn't call it. Fine. But go battle for the football. Go truck the defender. Do something, man. The dude literally gave up. He gave up on the route. Just like he did in the Super Bowl with a huge drop. He failed his team when it mattered most. And I'm tired of Quez Watkins. Should have been a PI, should have been a holding, whatever. I'm sorry, you got to at least fight for the ball. You got to fight for the ball. Am I right? What happened to Dallas Goedert? Dallas Goedert had a couple catches in the first quarter. He ends up doing nothing the rest of the game. A.J. Brown had 5 catches for 56. Devontae, 5 catches for 50. You held DK Metcalf to 1 catch the whole game, and you let him go for 4 catches in the last quarter. You start out running this game. You actually ended up running it 38 times. But who was your leading rusher? It was Jalen Hurts with 13 carries for 82 yards. The guy who's out there on one leg. The guy who is probably heavy breathing after every run. You give the ball to DeAndre Swift 18 times, but most of those carries came in the first half, and you got away from it. And then you got away from any type of creativity, right? When you were running DeAndre in the outside zone, it was working. No, let's run him right up the gut. So frustrating, man, because I feel like the Eagles have talent to win football games. Are they the most talented right now? No, there have been weaknesses on this roster that have been exposed. But the fact of the matter is, like, you do nothing. I can predict what's going to happen on a single play. You can predict what's going to happen on a single play. I don't care what anybody says about, this or that. There's no excuses to lose this football game. I know Seattle is a tough environment. It's a tough place to play. And when you're sick, right, your senses are probably off. It doesn't matter. You should not have lost this football game to Drew Lock. I'm sorry. And that's what it comes down to, man. And I tried for weeks. I said, you know what? This team, they continue to find ways to win. So we pushed it off. They lost to the Niners. I said, okay, let's see how they rebound. And then they get stomped by the Dallas Cowboys. Let's see how they come back. Everything in the tank has to be left out there. You have to rebound, and you come out with this miserable performance. There's just no way. How many sacks did they have? 2 sacks. One was a play where Seattle actually, what was it? In the third quarter? Yeah, I think it was a third quarter. I believe it was a third quarter. Seattle went on a 6.5-minute drive, and it was 4th and 2. Eagles ended up challenging the play because Seahawks called a timeout. They gifted you an opportunity to push the ball back. They were going for a first down. They call a timeout. Sirianni's looking across the field. He's like, what are you doing, Pete Carroll? You just gave me an opportunity to challenge. Eagles challenged. They say that Locke's knee was down the play before. So they end up overturning it. Jalen Carter gets a sack. Then it's a 4th and 9. You give them the field goal. They tried to give you this game. The most frustrating part of all of this, is that the Dallas Cowboys got absolutely squandered yesterday. They got absolutely squandered. And you could not go out and capitalize. You could not go out and win a damn football game. That is what I'm most frustrated at. This team should be absolutely embarrassed. You would think that winning 6 games in a row would teach this team how to win a damn lousy game against the Seahawks. Who do we look at now? What do we say now? You know what? Nah, I'm not done. I'm going off on everybody. A.J. Brown, I got a problem with you too. Listen up. I got a problem with A.J. Brown. You know why? He's out there chirping with security guards and the guys on the opposite sideline. And for weeks he said, Jalen, throw me the ball. Jalen Hurts looks lost. He stares down his receivers for 12 seconds. He telegraphs his throws. You know exactly where Hurts wants to go with it. He looks lost. Did Jalen Hurts unlearn how to read the field? He was a master last season. He was a master in reading the field. Now, a lot of that was Shane Steichen, and I still put more of that on the failures of Brian Johnson. Brian Johnson is putrid. He's awful. But I put more of that on the coordinator. However, Jalen, you got to improvise a little bit, buddy. Like, he even runs for 20 yards, and then he doesn't even know whether to slide or not, or like do a tumble. He's getting hit all over. He's probably not the healthiest at this point. How am I supposed to have any hope? And the funniest thing is that you went out and you booted Sean Desai, and the guy you bring in blitzes less. I'm pretty sure, I have not looked at the amount of blitzes and all that. I'm pretty sure Matt Patricia blitzed less than Sean Desai. And he gave up a 92-yard drive with the game on the line. That's all that matters. So when you look at Matt Patricia, now what do you do? Now what do you do? You can't go back to Sean Desai. This Eagles team has literally backed themselves into a hole, and I just don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I can't even think of like more than 4 blitzes in this game. 3 blitzes maybe. 4th and 2, no blitz. 4th and short, no blitz. This game makes me want to throw up. I'm sorry, I've been ranting for like 20 minutes here. Let's go to the chat. Guys, sound in on the chat. I'm sorry, I haven't even read any comments. I'm just so frustrated right now. We have a lot of people tapped in right now. Do me a favor, if you're on the YouTube channel, or if you're not on the YouTube channel, come to the YouTube channel and help us grow our subscriber base. A to Z Philly on YouTube. If you're on Facebook, share this stream out. Guys, give me your thoughts in the chat. Just let loose. Unload. Please let me know. Am I crazy? Am I overreacting about this? Am I overreacting? Do the Eagles still have a chance? Do they still have a shot? Am I overreacting? Because I'm just going off pure emotion right now. And I know, you know, sometimes you're in the moment of the game and then you got to take a step back. But I can't see past this one. I tried last week. I tried the week before. I can't look past this game. The Eagles' soul was left in Seattle tonight. The Eagles' soul was ripped out of their hearts on that final drive, and it was left. What do they call themselves? Is it the 12th man? Is that what they call themselves? It was left at the feet of the 12th man. The Eagles' soul was ripped out tonight. They might lose to Tommy DeVito. They might lose in the first round of the playoffs. That's how I feel right now. I am so mad. I am so frustrated. All right, I will go to the comments. Before I do that, let me give a shout out to our sponsor here of the Game Day Show, BetMGM. Enjoy your favorite sports like never before at BetMGM. Sign up with the code ATOZPA and receive up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. When you register with BetMGM, you'll get instant access to a variety of parlay selection features, live betting options, player props, and daily boosted odds specials. And with BetMGM at your fingertips, every play and every game matter more than ever. Find out why BetMGM is the king of sportsbooks. Sign up today with the bonus code ATOZPA and get up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. Only people that showed up today was BetMGM, so shout out to them. Thank you very much. All right, let's go to the chat. Let's go to the chat. First off, we got a lot of people still on Instagram. Thank you guys for being here. I wish my thing was center. I will get that fixed next time. I don't know why it's coming out like that, but let's see. Julio Jones is a kryptonite. We're blaming it on Julio. That's the first comment I saw. We're blaming it on Julio. LTL says, I blame James Trashberry, then Jalen Hurts, and Brian Johnson. Hurts should know not to throw dumb passes. Man, those are 2 brutal interceptions. You just cannot turn the ball over like that. Cannot turn the ball over. That's terrible. All right, let's go to the chat. Nia says, screw the Niners. I'm not trading my team for nobody. You fake fans need to go ahead and go to another team y'all think is better. Let's stop with that. Let's stop with that. We're not fake fans. We are pissed off. We're pissed off. You just got embarrassed. This is like going to play kickball at recess and you're a high schooler. You get beat by the 3rd graders. This is embarrassing. Should we be happy? Should we be jumping in joy? Should we be jumping in joy? Come on now. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's go to the next comment. Solomon says, no, you're not overreacting. Y'all are done. You're only playing in the playoffs because of your record. If it was good teams, y'all would be going fishing. A lot of changes in the offseason. Chase says Sirianni is a problem. It's obvious the offense is bad because of him. It's not all on Brian Johnson. Who do we blame more, Brian Johnson or Nick Sirianni? Or Matt Patricia? Who do we blame? Who do we blame? Cringe says, this is some of the worst offense of play calling I've ever seen in my life. Dude, I feel like they only have 8 plays in the playbook. Screen, screen out of the backfield, screen, quarterback keeper. Then once in a while, we get an AJ slant that works for 10 yards. Back to the screens. Jalen Hurts looking downfield for 35 yards. I feel like it's the same thing. It's a repetitive cycle. Nice says, I'm not talking about you. Read the chat. People are saying they're leaving the Eagles. If you're leaving the Eagles, you're a fraud, okay? My bad, Nye. I'm frustrated. But look, we stick with our team, win or lose, but you must call out the blasphemy that you see. You must call out the blasphemy. And right now, I mean, this is embarrassing. I feel like we're back in 2019. I feel like we're back in 2020 when the Eagles are just getting embarrassed. I feel like we're back in 2021 when the team was 2-5 and they had no creativity. Here's my issue with Brian Johnson, okay? Other than the fact that he only has 5 plays in the playbook. You have been here, okay? Sean Desai was not here last year. Brian Johnson, you get all this credit about your college offense and how close you are with Jalen Hurts. You get all this credit about Jalen Hurts. And I'm not just putting 100% on Brian Johnson. I'm putting this on Jalen Hurts as well, okay? His decision-making has regressed. I'm putting this, though, on Brian Johnson because you have been in the system. You saw what Shane Steichen did with this team, okay? Shane Steichen has 8 wins in Indianapolis. Do you know Shane Steichen has 2 less wins than the Eagles with Gardner Minshew as his damn quarterback, okay? So why don't you pull out the damn film, go back last year, and kind of put more creativity in the playbook? The Eagles do still no pre-snap motion. They do no bootlegs. They do no play action. They never put Hurts under center. They do nothing. They have the same damn set and the same 8 plays that they run every game. And on 3rd and 6, why are you running the ball up the middle with a back like Swift, with an elusive back, with a guy that can go east to west? Why are you running it up the middle with DeAndre Swift on 3rd and 5? Anybody would know not to do that. Anybody. Why on a 3rd and 6 is Jalen Hurts tucking the ball and running up the middle? It makes no sense. It makes no sense. And yes, Jalen Hurts has to, maybe there are better routes that Jalen Hurts is not seeing. Maybe his vision is all out of sorts. But on a 1st and 10, when you go with a screen to Devontae Smith and there's 1 blocker, when other teams do screens, they have 3 blockers. Doesn't that make more sense? You go 1 blocker to the left, A.J. Brown can't even stop the corner in front of him. Easy tackle in the backfield. Or when momentum's piling up, time to get away from the run game. Oh, let's dump it off to DeAndre Swift and let him lose 5 yards in the backfield. Look, I'm not some guru, right? I don't know every 180 plays in the playbook, but what I do know is the fact that it's so predictable to this point that other teams are probably laughing. They're probably laughing. I feel like we're watching a Madden simulated play caller right here. He's got the 3 recommended plays and he's going 1, 2, and 3. It's just like, go back to last year. Guys were wide open. Dallas Goedert was seeing a lot of love. Eagles had 3 backs capable of doing something. They used Boston Scott in unique situations. Kenny Gainwell actually got going. I continue to say this every week. Jalen Hurts is most effective on the run when it's improvised. When you're telling him to tuck the ball and run behind an offensive line that's already banged up, and then guys go down during the game, Lane Johnson goes down, Cam Jurgens is down, you're asking for trouble. It's so frustrating, man. It's so frustrating, and I feel like the Eagles, I feel like the best way to describe it is they're just wasting the talent that they have. It is very hard to win after you pay your quarterback. That's why last year was such a golden opportunity. Eagles were already a year behind on the Hurts track, given that he had to sit behind Carson Wentz, right? So you finally get an opportunity, and okay, you lose in the big game. But you come back, Howie works his magic, and he's able to bring back some of the key vets on this team, and maybe that was a mistake. Maybe that was a mistake. Are they missing C.J. Gardner-Johnson, right? Who the hell is doing anything on the back end of this defense? The linebackers are out of sorts. Oh, boy. Let me tell you about Shaq Leonard. They were showing this one play on Twitter. Shaq, I love you, buddy. Like, you had a really good start to your career, but you might be cooked. You might be cooked. There was this one play they were showing where he just got absolutely lost. He couldn't even move. No Cunningham was felt in this game. Absolutely. 100%. Cam Jurgens, and that's a big loss. It's just frustrating. The Eagles didn't address the linebacker position. They let TJ Edwards go. TJ Edwards is leading the league in tackles. They let him walk. They let CJ Gardner-Johnson walk. Reed Blankenship's not looking that hot. Crazy, man. Mark says Sirianni is equally at fault for Brian Johnson not forcing him to make better or newer plays. Do you guys, how much blame is on Nick Sirianni? How much blame is on Jalen Hurts? And how much blame is on Brian Johnson? Let me ask the chat that, and I want to read your answers. Who gets the most blame? Nick Sirianni, Brian Johnson, or Jalen Hurts? What do we think? Sidney Brown was lost today. Yeah, he's another one. These guys are young, inexperienced. You're down to your backups, right? But at the end of the day, somebody's got to step up. What was so great about the Eagles 2017-18 team? They had guys with the next man up mentality. Nobody on his team has next man up mentality. They're still failing to tackle guys in the open field. The first half was okay. Second half was brutal. You got guys who are literally almost down on the ground somehow breaking out for 15 more yards. It just can't happen. It cannot happen, man. The Eagles have more turnovers this season as well than they did all of last year. It's frustrating. Emi says Brian Johnson. Everyone gets the blame. Viewed says Sirianni, Hurts. Blame is equal. They're all leaders and failing. Maybe that's a good way to put it. Sirianni makes the plays Brian Johnson calls him, and Hurts doesn't make the right reads. Music Lover says 100% blame to all three. I do not believe in the foundation anymore. Hurts has 18 turnovers this season. That is brutal. That is brutal, Column. Craig says there was too many missed tackles and too many opportunities that the Eagles had. There's no excuse for this. I don't want to hear any excuses. I agree. I'm right there with you. This game, this is the one, guys. This is the one that took me. This is the one that really took me. Because they had an opportunity, man. They had a real opportunity, especially after the Cowboys get bounced like that yesterday, and you come out, and that's the result. That's the result. I'm frustrated, man. I am frustrated, if you can't tell. If you can't tell. I mean, what do I say? What do I say? I don't know what to say. Frustrating. See if we could pull anything else up here, anything important in this game. I know there's probably a lot I missed, and I do apologize for that. I'm just going off the emotion, man. And the emotion to me feels like you missed on a lot. You missed on a lot. Saul says Hurts checking it down, gaining 15 yards on the last play. Yeah. No, exactly. And I talked about that earlier, Saul. Somebody has to explain to me what the hell the thinking was. That is the second time you had 1st and 10 at your own 45, and you decide to launch it downfield. Why? You have one of the best kickers in the game. One of the best kickers in the game. And what do? You throw it 30 yards. Intercepted. Why? Why? That's what I want to know. Who told him to do that? Or did he decide on his own? Why would you do that? Even earlier, like I said, earlier in the fourth quarter, Eagles were moving the ball. They got the ball back with 10 minutes left. They had a chance to put more points up to potentially go up another score, maybe make it out of reach, or a 2-possession game. And Jalen launches it to Quez Watkins in the end zone, and Quez just doesn't even fight for the ball. That just can't happen. Let's look at the total stats in this game. I haven't even looked at them. Eagles had more yards. They were more efficient on third down. 143 passing yards. I mean, that's just 178 yards on the ground. They can't capitalize on it. And they had, they controlled the ball for more time in this game. I continue to say week after week, you guys are probably tired of me saying it, but, there's so many things you can do to get a quarterback in rhythm. I am a big believer in rhythm. Right? So you come out in this game, you try to get these little screens left and right, but why not just send Dallas Goedert on a curl route 8 yards out? Or why not send AJ on a slant route? Every time they throw the ball to AJ, he creates something more. He creates more out of it. Devontae Smith was hot for 4 games, then he goes awry. Where are these guys? Where? No rhyme or reason to this Eagles offense. There's nothing. There's no substance. There's no substance. There's absolutely no substance. The sky is falling, ladies and gentlemen. And now I'm seeing this here on Twitter, guys. Check this out. So they're saying that Jalen Hurts missed a wide open check down to Kenny Gainwell on the game losing play. No one in front of him for 20 yards. We need to talk about this. And if you guys are on the Instagram, come on over to the YouTube channel, man, so you could see this. We got to talk about this, man. This is bad. How does that happen? He's wide open. Look at all the open field. Oh my gosh. That cannot happen, dude. That cannot happen. Kenny Gainwell had about 20 yards in front of him. Is Jalen Hurts, I don't even want to say, is Jalen Hurts a different quarterback this year? Is he a different quarterback? Why would he be trying to throw this ball where he's throwing it? Look at where, and by the way, what did I say earlier? Telegraphed. He telegraphs every pass. Is he pointing to AJ? You have, 10 seconds left? 20 seconds left? Are you kidding me? You are getting in field goal range. You're getting out of bounds, most likely. And if not, you're calling a timeout. Jake Elliott's nailing a field goal to send this game into overtime, and who knows what happens from there. This cannot happen. And it's happened way too many times this season. And, I've obviously been in support of Jalen Hurts, and I still am. But he is missing some really big reads. He's making terrible decisions with the football. He's fumbled way too much. I mean, that's crazy. Maybe he's not right. Maybe he was. I mean, obviously he was very sick in this game. They showed his eyes up close. He looked like he was going to throw up. Even had a false start in the first quarter where he almost fell off balance. He was really sick. But that doesn't excuse the fact that you're trying to throw it 30 yards here. Makes no sense. Jalen Hurts has to be better. Brian Johnson has to be better. Nick Sirianni has to be better. 100%. All of them. All of them. I mean, this is bad, though. He has not gotten in any rhythm in almost any single game. I thought he was finally getting in rhythm today. He was 5 for 5 to begin the game. Eagles go 4 for 4 on the first drive on third down. They're rocking and rolling. Jalen Hurts punches one in. And then what happened? That's what I'm really trying to figure out, guys. I'm trying to figure out in these games, because the Eagles have not played a full game yet. Where does it go from like getting in rhythm to just completely evaporating? Is that play calling? Is that missed opportunities on execution? Like, it feels like every game they have that moment where the switch completely flips off. It completely flips off. The last 6 games they've been trailing at halftime. Even in this game, I said at halftime they should have had more points. People were getting on me at halftime. Why being so negative? Because when you go for 2 8.5-minute drives in the first half, think about that. Think about that. That's over half of the first half. And you only account for 10 points? Can't happen, man. Missed opportunities. Missed opportunities. The Seahawks are a bad team. The Seahawks would have been out of it today. They would have been done. Everybody thought Geno Smith was out. And then, an hour before the game, they say he's active. Then they say he's out. You obviously planned for Drew Lock, and you couldn't stop him. I go back to where I started this stream. A 92-yard drive. Matt Patricia, have some damn balls. Okay? How about that? He sent absolutely no pressure in this game. How come the Eagles are supposed to have one of the best defensive lines in football? A line that had 70 sacks a year ago, who added more talent. They added a top first-round pick. And they can't get to a quarterback. They can't get to Drew Lock and the subpar offensive line of the Seattle Seahawks. All right? Where's Josh Sweat at? Hassan Reddick has showed up in prior weeks. He wasn't there today. Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis, since getting injured 5-6 weeks ago, have been non-existent. I know Carter had a sack today, but they have been nowhere to be seen. You do nothing, right? You don't even bring in a safety blitz once in a while. You do nothing to try to rattle these quarterbacks. And it reminds me so much of Jonathan Gannon, who used to let guys throw for 88% completion in the first half and get comfortable. It's so freaking frustrating. It is so frustrating. They don't tackle. It looks like they don't care. Everybody needs to look in the mirror. Where are the leaders on this team? Who are the leaders on this team? I thought AJ was a leader. He talked the talk the last couple of weeks. He said, yeah, wait till we see how we bounce back. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where are the vets on this team, man? Where's that Super Bowl experience? Where's that experience? I mean, it's frustrating. Come on, man. All right, you know what? I've had enough. Sorry. I just saw this. Guys, you got to check this out. You got to check this out. What did I say last week? I said I am tired of Darius Slay chiming in when he doesn't need to, okay? And I'm here on Twitter. And guess who's commenting in the comments on Twitter after this game? Darius Slay. So we have Emmanuel Acho, who says the Eagles take Slay for granted, but that should have been known before the game. And CJ Deuce, okay, Charles James II. agrees. Then here comes Eric Weems, NFL player, Pro Bowler, All Pro, okay? They're going back and forth. He's not great. He's a game changer. He ain't a game changer. He's good, but not a difference maker. And here comes Darius Slay. Coming from a dude that just comes into block. Come on, bro. Slay, you got to get off Twitter, bro. You have to get off Twitter. I really like Slay as a player. I even think he's a good personality. But the fact that any of these guys, and I know he didn't play tonight, okay? But the fact that any of these guys are out here on social media trying to argue after this game, that's frustrating to me. That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. I'm getting tired of these guys coming on here and trying to defend after we see the slop. Like, you can't do that. You got to stop, man. Frustrating. That just can't happen. Cannot happen. I don't know what else to say, guys. I'll read your comments out. I know we got a ton of people in here. If you guys are just tapping in, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Appreciate you all being here. We got a lot of spammers in here. Let's go ahead and let's throw this thing on real quick. Appreciate everybody being in here as I rant my heart out, as I rant my soul out. Okay, because yes, I am frustrated. I don't know who else to talk about in this game. I'm trying to come up with positives. I feel like your soul was snatched out. James Bradbury on the game-winning touchdown says, quote, he was playing the sticks and they were playing man coverage. So James Bradbury got toasted by Jackson Smith and Jigba. Quote, I think I was a little too aggressive, and that's why he was able to run by me. You think? You think, James, the fact that he got blown by, you think the Eagles are paying James Bradbury and Darius Slay big money over the next 3 years to come in here and shut teams down? All right, James Bradbury was a wonder last year, but let's not forget before that, he was criticized. You know, he'd have good years, bad years. With the Giants, teams like that, Panthers. Was James Bradbury a one-year wonder last year? James Bradbury got cooked all night. He could not rise to the occasion. He could not step up and rise to the occasion, and that is what I'm frustrated about. These guys got to take accountability, man. These guys got to take accountability. I feel like I'm looking for something that will give me relief, but there is nothing, you know? I mean, we're past midnight and I'm still here just ranting my heart out. I'm looking for something to provide me with relief, something that gives me hope and optimism, but I just don't know what it is. Here's something that maybe could make me feel better. Actual accountability. Jalen Hurts on the game tonight, quote, I have to be better. We know that. Minimizing the mistakes, mental errors. It starts with me getting better. We've lost games because I could be better. That'll change everything, and I accept that. Well, at least somebody took some damn accountability, even though I'm still mad. By the way, Jalen looks like he's slouched over here. Looks like he's about to go to sleep. I think the fact of the matter is the Eagles, I'm not going to take away the fact that they won tight games against some of these teams like Buffalo and Kansas City. But I think there are deficiencies on the roster. But I think their coaching allowed them to get into this style of play that will be very hard to revert out of. The way that they have practiced, the way that they have preached a certain philosophy all year, I don't see them kind of flipping the switch now this late in the season. Like, you're a couple weeks away from the playoffs. You are probably going to have to go, on the road? On wild card weekend? Sure, maybe the Eagles win the division. Maybe Dallas loses to who? Miami? And the Eagles pick up a couple wins against the Giants. Can the Eagles even beat the Giants right now? I can't believe I'm saying that. Can they? Can they even beat the Giants? That's how frustrated I am right now, man. I don't even know. But overall, man, and I said this during the week. Once again, shout out to everybody in here. I said this on the YouTube channel, man. Like, I'm tired of like all the statements and nothing to back it up. I'm tired of all the statements with nothing to back it up. I was defeated last week. I don't have anything left to say. And I guess I'm just here, and I appreciate everybody being in here. I mean, we got a ton of people in this chat right now. If you guys have not yet, man, hit the like button and subscribe to the show. A to Z Philly. Nick Sirianni says that he is sticking with Matt Patricia as his new defensive play caller, and he will be making all the final calls with the defense. Sirianni says it was his decision to make the adjustment. So what this means is that Nick Sirianni realizes the truth. You can't go back. Can't go back now. Matt Patricia got exposed on the final drive. Guy that hadn't really been at the helm in a couple years. Gives up a 92-yard drive to Drew Lock. Can't go back to Desai. The fact that the Eagles even made this change before a game in Seattle against Drew Lock is very questionable to me. Patricia's probably better than Desai. He has more experience. He's won more. But why make that change? And now you set yourself up for him to get exposed, which he did. Things are just boiling down, and at the wrong time. At the wrong time. And I know I'm in here ranting and I haven't said anything good. I just don't know what to say. This game ripped me out. This game took me out. The way they're coached, the way they carry themselves is nothing like last year. It is nothing like last year. Here's another view, guys. Here's another view. I just saw this as well. Look at this. Dude, I am going to... I can't take it. This is the play, the last play, where Jalen throws the interception. Why? 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 There is no way. There is no way. I highly doubt that one of the coaches told Jalen Hurts to throw the ball downfield here. I'm so confused. I'm so confused. Kenny Gainwell is going to get into field goal range on this play. On this play. And he's getting out of bounds. He's getting out of bounds. You're going to kick the field goal to go to overtime. Jake Elliott doesn't miss these field goals. That just can't happen. That can't happen. Man. I don't even know. I don't even know. What else do I say about this game, man? What else do I say? As soon as that pass interference play happened with James Bradbury, things went downhill. Bradbury had no pass deflections tonight. Seahawks go down, they kick a field goal, and then that leads to a Hurts interception. And they get it back with 2 minutes to go. And Drew Lock goes on a 1 minute 24, 92-yard drive. Drew Lock. How many games has Drew Lock won in his NFL career? How many games has he won in his career? I honestly don't know. I remember him with the Broncos, right? I think he was in the Russell Wilson trade. Has he ever won a game? Let me look it up. Let me look up Drew Lock's career record. Drew Lock, NFL record. Drew Lock, 16-20 in his career. That's right. He did have a stretch with the Broncos. I forgot about that. He was actually their starter for some time. I forgot that this dude even existed in that midst of like Broncos chaos quarterback stretch where they just couldn't do anything. I forgot that this dude even existed. And he just cooked the Eagles on the last drive. I guess I got to put more respect on Drew Lock's name. I guess I got to put respect on his name. Oh, man. Well, what do I say, man? Let's look at the standings and then we'll wrap this thing up. But we got 225 people in the YouTube chat. Guys, do me a favor. If you are in the YouTube chat, hit that little like button. It helps the show. And hit that subscribe button for more content. We're dropping videos. We're doing live streams. And I appreciate everybody in here, all the new viewers as well. If you're on Facebook, hit that share button. Guys, I'll ask you a final question and then we'll pull up the standings. Are the Eagles done? Is there any hope for the Eagles to salvage this thing, to pick it up, to turn it around? I know it's been a rant fest, okay? This game took my soul. This game took me out. I'm still going to be here next week. Still going to be analyzing the team. But this game crushed me, man. This one did it. This one did it. Give me some thoughts in the chat. And pull up the standings here. Just a brutal night. Just a brutal night. So with this loss, the Philadelphia Eagles now go back to the number 5 seed. So they were the 2 seed. They now go back to number 5. And the Cowboys regain the number 2 seed. Eagles could still hypothetically win if they win out and they play 2 games against the Giants, if they can even win those. But as of right now, it seems like the Eagles are going to be headed on the road to old Tampa Bay. Little reunion for a playoff game. I don't know if they can beat them right now. Cowboys aren't going to do anything. They will choke. Yes, I said it. The Cowboys got exposed as well. Cowboys stink. The Niners look like they're going to run away with it right now. Don't believe in Detroit that much. Tampa Bay. That's my positive, I guess. Actually, you want to know my positive, guys? I got one positive on the night. I won my fantasy playoff game. Even though Tyreek Hill got injured, I somehow muscled through. DK Metcalf didn't do enough to help my opponent. So I won my fantasy playoff game. That's all I have to look forward to after this one. Because, my gosh. Eagles are now 10-4. As they have now lost 3 in a row. They will wrap up the season with the Giants, the Cardinals, and the Giants. Can they even win the last 3 games? They better. They better. Otherwise, this thing's going to get even uglier, man. Even uglier. Craig says, as a diehard Eagles fan, I have to look at it tonight and say, we deserve to lose. There's no glue to the team. Everything is falling apart. Moore says, Eagles can't beat the Cowboys. Eagles did beat the Cowboys the first time, but they did get exposed last week. David says, if we can't find an offensive identity and put up more points in any of the next 3 games heading to the playoffs, we're going to have a first-round exit. Lee says the coaching staff is setting Hurts up to fail. They keep calling pass play after pass play. Yeah, there's no rhythm. There's no rhythm at all. Even today, they tried to stuff a bunch of runs in the beginning of the game. They still were not getting these 3rd and shorts that they desperately need. Jalen Hurts is holding the ball way too long. And it's frustrating, man. It really is. Moore says Cowboys will play in the NFC Championship. I don't think they will. I think the Cowboys will get upset somehow, some way. But at the end of the day, that's where we're at. That's where we're at, man. I appreciate every single person in here who has stayed up till 12:30 Eastern, who has hung out with me as we try to muscle our way through this. But at the end of the day, man, this is just a very brutal one. Very, very brutal one. According to one of the reporters on Twitter, Jalen Hurts questioned the Eagles' commitment. This game was going to show you who this team was. And the fact that they couldn't muscle it out. They couldn't muscle this game out against Drew Lock and the Seahawks, who have been terrible. That tells you what you need to know. That tells you what you need to know. The Eagles showed who they were tonight. And they made crucial mistake after crucial mistake. And it resulted in an embarrassing loss. That's all I got, guys. Appreciate you all for coming through. A to Z Philly. Hit the like button on the stream. Hit the subscribe button if you're new. Hit the share button wherever you're watching this, man. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your night and have a great week. See if the Eagles can bounce back against the against the New York Giants this next week. They lost to the Niners. They lost to the Cowboys. They lost to the Seahawks. Giants up next. See what they can do. Guys, have a great rest of your night, man. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.